NHS walkouts could last until Christmas as the government insists it's made a full and final pay offer to nurses. The head of the main nursing union says their health secretary needs to put more money on the table as emergency and cancer care prepare to go on strike.
The care that patients get every single day is done by nursing staff under immense pressure, and that pressure needs to be taken off them.
Also tonight, 3 UN aid workers are among those killed in Sudan after violence between the army and paramilitary forces. New details confirmed about the nationwide test of a mobile emergency alert system. And Arsenal dropped points in the title race after a comeback from West Ham.
This is ITV News with Gamal Fahnbulleh.
Good evening. The government says it has made its full and final pay offer to nurses in England after members of one of the main nursing unions voted to reject it and push ahead with more strikes. For the first time, these walkouts will include emergency wards and cancer care. This morning, the Royal College of Nursing's chief executive has warned that strikes could go on until Christmas unless they get a better offer. The RCN's members turned down a 5% pay rise alongside a one-off cash top-up. Harry Horton reports.
After a winter of NHS walkouts, health workers in England are now gearing up for a summer of strikes. And if the government fails to improve its pay offer, the Royal College of Nursing says industrial action could last until the end of the year.
We will immediately move now to reballot our members in June, and if that ballot is successful, then those strikes will last to Christmas. But again, what I would say, and I would make a plea to government this morning, let's now put more money on the table and bring these strikes to an end.
For now, the RCN says it has no plans to coordinate strikes with junior doctors who've just finished their own week of walkouts. The Health Secretary, Steve Barclay, wrote to union leaders this morning to offer fresh talks. But on pay, the government appears unwilling to budge. Are you saying there's no improvement on that offer? That's the final deal, they've got to accept it?
Nurses have voted narrowly against. Let's just wait and see what the other unions say. We do think that it is a really, really strong, fair and reasonable offer.
While some health unions consider the offer, fresh nursing strikes are set to go ahead on the 1st May bank holiday. For the first time, nurses working on cancer wards, in intensive care units and at emergency departments like this one will join the picket lines in what will be seen as a major escalation of strike action. NHS bosses have warned today this will endanger patient safety. Labour has urged the RCN to reconsider escalating action.
I really hope that if the Royal College of Nursing is going ahead with another round of strikes, that they continue to protect emergency care and cancer care as they have in the past. I think there is a real risk of patient safety if that doesn't happen.
Rishi Sunak hoped a winter of NHS disruption was over, but another season of industrial action is now set to begin. Harry Horton, ITV News.
The United Nations World Food Programme has suspended its operations in Sudan after 3 aid workers were killed in fighting between the country's army and biggest paramilitary force. More than 60 people have died and over 600 have been injured as the 2 rival forces battle for control of the capital Khartoum. Senior officials from the UN, US and EU have all called for an immediate end to the violence, which has left people trapped inside their homes and children trapped in schools as fighter jets fly overhead and tanks roll through the streets. Well, back here, the government has released more details about the first ever test of the mobile emergency alert system. Next Sunday at 3 p.m, a loud alarm and message will be triggered across millions of mobile phones in the UK. Chloe Keeley joins me now with more detail. Chloe, we've been told more about what to expect.
Yes, that's right. So anyone with a smartphone should get this alert next weekend, almost exactly a week from now, actually. So whatever you're doing next Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m, if your phone is on, you should hear this sound. So That is what the government's new emergency alert system sounds like. Next Sunday is a practice run, but the idea is that in future it could be used by the government to warn you if your life's in danger from something like a flood or a wildfire. Now, that sound will go on for about 10 seconds and it'll be accompanied by a message. We now know what that message will look like, and we can show you. Next Sunday, you should see these words. This is a test of emergency alerts, a new UK government service that will warn you if there's a life-threatening emergency nearby. In a real emergency, follow the instructions in the alert to keep yourself and others safe. Next Sunday, you won't need to do anything. You'll be given a prompt just to swipe the message away and carry on as normal. There has been some concern about this distracting drivers, but the government has said, look, if you're driving when you get the alert, you should do exactly what you would do if you got any other message. You should ignore it. You should not touch your phone or look at your phone until it is safe to do so. These alerts aren't supposed to cause danger. In fact, the opposite is true. The idea is that next time you hear that sound, it could just save your life.
So all eyes on Sunday at 3 p.m. OK, Chloe, thank you. The British Horse Racing Authority says it will investigate in painstaking detail the deaths of 3 horses at Aintree since Thursday, including one who died at the Grand National. The sports regulator also condemned the reckless actions of protesters who disrupted the event yesterday. 118 people arrested as a result, and the event was delayed by 14 minutes. On to football, and Arsenal let a 2-goal lead slip for the second week in a row as their bid to lift the Premier League for the first time in 19 years continues to lose momentum. They drew 2-2 in their London derby against West Ham. Chris Scudder was watching.
Another frustrating day for Arsenal, just like at Liverpool, a 2-goal lead lost and 2 precious points slipping away. It had all started so well, an early calming goal from Gabriel Jesus.
Finish it off with Jesus!
Then, inside 10 minutes, the leaders cruising 2-0 up and surely heading for a precious victory. But a penalty conceded late in the first half brought West Ham back into it. Ben Rama scored it.
No problem for him.
Then, the crucial moment, a hammer's hand ball and a chance for Bukayo Saka to make it 3-1.
Saka! No!
How crucial might that miss be in the final title reckoning? Just like at Anfield, Arsenal found themselves up against it and couldn't hold on.
Caution!
Jared Bowen scoring the equaliser that will have been cheered loud and long in the blue side of Manchester. Chris Scudder, ITV News.
Well, elsewhere, Manchester United kept their hopes of a top 4 finish on track with a 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest. United's Brazilian winger Antony scored his side's first goal before setting up Diogo Dalot to secure 3 points. The result lifts United up to 3rd. And that is all for now. I'll be back with the late news at 10 o'clock. But for now, I do hope you enjoy what is left of your evening. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
The warm weather continues. So why not squeeze the most out of the day? Heinz Tomato Ketchup sponsors ITV National Weather.
Hello there, very good evening to you. I hope you've had a really lovely weekend. High pressure is starting to take control of our weather over the next few days. So it's not exactly wall-to-wall sunshine or entirely dry, but definitely a much more settled sort of picture. And that's what we've got as we look ahead to tonight. A little bit more in the way of the thickening cloud across eastern England, and here's some patchy light rain. Also some misty, murky bits around the Irish Sea coasts as those winds fall light. Then we look ahead to the start of a brand new week. A slow start across eastern England as that cloud and patchy rain clears away. Then the sunshine's starting to appear. But right on the east coast, we are expecting it to be cloudier and cooler, I'm afraid. Elsewhere, largely dry, bits and bobs of brightness around and just perhaps a few passing light showers in places. A high tomorrow, 18 degrees, not bad at all. Jumping ahead to Tuesday, it's lovely. Largely dry, bright and sunny all day, and temperatures, particularly across Scotland, looking pretty good. See you later. Bye-bye.
Heinz Tomato Ketchup sponsors ITV National Weather.